If you've been feeling like the planets are a little bit intense right now, especially if you have any major Capricorn placements in your chart, listen up, you're not crazy. So we have two things currently going on right now in the sign of Capricorn. The first is we have a Capricorn stellium. A stellium is when you have 3 or more planets in the same sign or in the same house. And right now we have 4 planets in Capricorn. We have the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars in Capricorn. But what's even crazier is we're having a Venus and Mars Cazimi simultaneously. A Cazimi is when one planet is conjunct the sun specifically. And for those who don't know what a conjunction is, it's when 2 planets are in the same sign at the same degree or within 5 degrees of one another. Now, Cazimis are fairly common. We usually have a Mercury Cazimi every month, but to have 2 Cazimis at the same time with Mars and with Venus, that's not as common. Now, Mars represents action, drive, passion, things like that. And Venus rules over luxury, money, things that we enjoy in life. And Cazimis, since they are conjunctions of a planet with the sun, are bringing light to those areas of life. Now, this Capricorn Cazimi went direct yesterday at 17 degrees Capricorn. This is today's chart, so we are not exact. Right now, we have Mars still in Cazimi with the sun at 18 degrees. Venus is at 19 degrees, so we're 1 degree off, but because it's within an orb of 5 degrees, we're still technically within the Cazimi period. So what does this mean for you? Well, you're gonna wanna look to your own chart and see what house is ruled by Capricorn and if you have any planets there. Using my own chart as an example, you can see that I have 3 planets, Uranus, Neptune, and my moon, as well as my lot of fortune in my 5th house of creativity. And in fact, this Venus and Mars Cazimi was exactly conjunct my natal moon, which you can see is at 17 degrees. So I really felt this Cazimi. Now, if you're like me and you have your 5th house of creativity in Capricorn, especially if you have planets there, you're really going to want to focus your energy towards creative endeavors. So this could look like taking action on a creative project, whether you're starting it or kicking it back into gear. That's something I've been doing lately. The 5th house is also the house of children. So if you have children, you might want to pay attention to that, especially during this time period. And you really want to look at how you are spending your energy on these projects or your children, as well as money, because Venus does rule money. Now, if you're not a Virgo rising like myself and do not have your 5th house in Capricorn, you're going to want to look to which house Capricorn does rule, regardless of if you have planets there, because that's the house that it's going to be highlighting. Cazimis are often thought to be a positive aspect in astrology. You know, a lot of people do interpret it in a positive way. However, there are always positives and negatives to each aspect. With these double Cazimis, you might feel